Hey everyone, and welcome back. Every now and then we stumble across a story, and I mean, a really wild story that just makes you stop and say, wait, hold on a sec. Is that even possible?
I know what you mean. Like, some things just sound too crazy to be true.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we're dealing with today. We're diving headfirst into the story of Muluwork Ambaw.
Muluwork Ambaw.
Yeah, so she's a 26-year-old woman, lives in Ethiopia, and her story is, well, it's pretty unbelievable. She claims that she hasn't had a single bite to eat or a sip of anything to drink for, get this, 16 years.
Wow, 16 years. You're kidding, right?
Nope, not kidding. We found this case on the Mysteries of the Modern World podcast, and let me tell you, they really dug deep into her story. And that's what we're going to try and do today, too. I mean, we got to look at this from all sides, right? We're talking about scientific facts on one hand, and then this deep personal faith on the other.
That's what makes this so fascinating, trying to reconcile those two perspectives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right in. 16 years, no food, no water. That's not just unusual, it sounds impossible. So, I got to ask the expert here. Help us out. How long can a person actually go without food and water?
Well, it's a bit complicated. The human body is actually surprisingly tough, Like, without food, we can actually survive for weeks. Our bodies start using stored fat, then break down muscle to get that energy. It's not pretty, but we can make it for a while. But water, that's completely different. You can't last very long without water. It's absolutely essential for, everything. Regulating your temperature, moving nutrients around, even getting oxygen where it needs to be. Just a few days without water and your body starts shutting down.
So dehydration is a much bigger deal than starvation, in the short term anyway.
Oh, absolutely. But here's the thing. With Muluwork Ambaw, it's like all the rules are being broken. She's claiming to have gone 16 years without either. And get this, the podcast mentions she's had a bunch of medical checkups, all over the place. Ethiopia, Dubai, even Saudi Arabia. And guess what? No malnutrition. No organ damage. I mean, how is that even possible?
Right. It's like saying a car can run without gas or a plant can grow without sunlight. It's just, it's baffling.
Totally. It makes you question everything you thought you knew about how the body works. Where's the fuel coming from? If she's not eating or drinking, how is she getting the energy to even, just exist, let alone do all the things she does?
That's actually a perfect segue because that's the other piece of this puzzle that just makes it all the more mind-boggling. This woman who's supposedly defying all these biological laws, she's not locked away in a lab somewhere. She's living what sounds like a completely normal life. Gardening, cooking for her family, even brewing tea and coffee, even though she says she doesn't drink it herself.
It's mind-blowing, right? Imagine going about your day doing all these ordinary things, and yet you haven't had a sip of water or a bite to eat in almost 2 decades. It really makes you question what we know about, the basic necessities for human life. Where is she getting the energy to do all that?
And this is where things get really interesting, because the podcast also talks about Muluwork's faith. She's a devout Orthodox Christian, and she believes her survival is a miracle, a gift from God.
So we're getting into the realm of faith and miracles here. It's a tough one because, as scientists, we're trained to look for concrete evidence, measurable data, but you can't deny the power of belief. History is full of stories where people have overcome incredible odds, often attributing their survival to faith.
Of course, and it's important to remember that not everyone buys into this story, right? The podcast mentions critics and skeptics who are, well, they're understandably suspicious. They say maybe there's some hidden source of nourishment that nobody's noticed, or maybe those medical tests weren't as thorough as everyone thinks.
Yeah, skepticism is super important, especially when dealing with something this extraordinary. It's natural to question things, to demand more evidence. I mean, if this is real, it would literally rewrite our textbooks on human biology.
Exactly. So where does that leave us? Is this an example of unwavering faith? Some medical anomaly we just don't understand yet? Or maybe even something else entirely? Could there be some hidden biological mechanism we haven't discovered yet? Or are we dealing with something truly unexplainable? It's a question that really pushes us to the edge of what we know.
It's a question that highlights how much we still don't know about the human body. And it's a reminder that the world is full of mysteries, things that challenge our assumptions and make us question everything we thought we knew.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of deep dives like this. They force us to confront the unknown, to grapple with the complexities of science, faith, and human experience. Muluwork Ambaw's story is a potent reminder that even in the 21st century, with all our technology and knowledge, there's still so much we have to learn and discover.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And that's all the time we have for this deep dive, but we want to hear from you. What do you think about Muluwork Ambaw's story? Head over to our website, check out the sources we mentioned, and let us know your thoughts. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep those minds open.